Our guest for this episode is the heptathlon and decathlon world record holder, the world's greatest athlete, Ashton Eaton. Ashton, thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
So Ashton, you have the indoor and outdoor world records. You have the Olympic title. You have the world title. I was thinking today, okay, so you're at Haywood Field where you train, and you find a genie in a sports bottle, different to a genie in a bottle. You have one wish. What do you even ask him for? Something for your wife, maybe.
Yeah. I would ask him, do I get 3 wishes?
No, you only get one.
One wish?
Yeah.
What kind of genie is that? I'd ask him for another genie.
It's a sports bottle genie, not a regular
Gotcha.
bottle, genie in a bottle.
Okay. I think I would ask him for, I don't know what I'd ask him. Personally, for myself, I probably wouldn't ask him for anything.
See?
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
tough.
right.
This is very tough. Maybe I'd ask him for younger fans in the stands at track meets.
Now, you've already said that in 2016, when the World Indoor Championships come to Portland, you
Yep.
feel like that is going to be another 2012 Olympic trials for you, where literally just being in front of your hometown crowd, your home state crowd,
Yeah.
is going to be able to lift you to the world record. Tell me how important you think it is for the United States to host international meets in track and field to grow the sport.
I think it's, for me personally and just for the whole state, it's very important because in the country, track and field is a great sport. And like, why do we want exposure? Why is it important to have track and field fans? Because in the track and field world, because it's a very small world, we understand how great of a sport it is. The opportunities it can give people, the things you learn, like just what I've learned as a human being, being a track and field athlete, that things that I can apply to life are good things, and they're great. And I think it's a very unique sport. People, all shapes and sizes, men and women, right? Field of play at the same time, intimate settings, great stories, and people need to be exposed to that because it's inspirational. And as human beings, we need kind of that inspiration at times, and we need those stories to kind of realize that we're not in whatever situation we're in alone. You can go from wherever you are now to a different state or place. And I think that's why track and field needs more of a following, and especially in the United States. I mean, we have football, basketball to look up to, women's sports, soccer, or volleyball or something, and where's track and field? It's so great, So it's important to bring those to the States, and for Oregon, being my hometown, I'm proud to have it maybe be the epicenter or be the starting point for that.
To my dismay, my mother reminds me that life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Some would probably say that life is also a decathlon. What has your event taught you in terms of life lessons?
Okay, well, just from a multi-event perspective, I've realized that if you want change, you can't keep doing the same thing, right? Day to day, it may change, something may change. If you want progress, if you want to move forward. I've learned about myself. Can I push myself through pressure? Ashton, you need to be tough right now. Can you do it? Maybe I prove to myself that I can. Maybe I prove to myself that I can't, and I get down on myself, beat myself up, and then come back and do it again next time. It's just kind of like this adversity thing. Maybe there's an injury, but you battle through it to get the win. Practice every day. I don't want to go. What kind of person am I going to be? Am I going to be the person that's, does it halfway, or am I going to be the person that says, okay, snap out of it, let's get this practice going? So literally every day there's something to learn, and that's just with myself. I watch these other athletes, and they have stories, right? It's like somebody may have a way worse training setup than I do. Their facilities may not be good. They may not have the right equipment, pole vault poles, this, that, and the other thing. And look at their success, It's like, so, I don't know. It's, there's so many things to take away from it, and you can look at decathlon. I look at decathlon like life. Just one decathlon, and you can relate it to life. You have ups and downs, PR in the 100 meters.
Long jump doesn't go so well.
Long jump doesn't go so well. It's like, same thing. One day it's great, The next day in life, something goes wrong, it's bad. And then you fight through it, come back and shot put in PR, or do you let it affect you and shot put goes bad? So
Maybe because I spent my training days at UCLA watching the dynamic between Jackie Joyner-Kersee and her coach and husband, Bob Kersee, it's always intrigued me. What is it like in your household? Your wife is obviously the silver medalist in the World Championships in the heptathlon. What's it like in your house with two people who do the exact same thing for a living? What are conversations like at the breakfast table?
at the beginning, it was a struggle for both of us because, yes, we did the same thing, and we were together all the time, which you think as a husband and wife, it's like, oh, well, that's awesome, right? But there is something to be said for having that separation and kind of being able to ask, hey, what did you do today? How did your day go? But we always know all the time, right? Wake up in the morning, go to practice, come back home. What'd you do today? You were there. So, you know, it was difficult for us, and it was also difficult for both of us, but mostly Brianne as well, because we both are very, not competitive with each other, but with ourselves. And we want to be successful. And I was having all this success, right? And it was totally overshadowing Brianne. And we both realized it, and especially being in Oregon, me being an Oregon guy, so that was tough, but we worked through it. And now it's kind of to the point where it's very enjoyable for both of us. And our household, this is the thing also about track and field athletes, any athletes in general. We're very normal people, right? So we go home after practice and we don't see ourselves as, you know, world silver medalists and world's greatest athletes and all this stuff. And so we go home and we have our own little deals. And I don't imagine it's any different. I mean, I can see how somebody could be curious of what's your household like, but it's not very much different. Wake up in the morning, have coffee. I like reading news about technology. She likes reading news about entertainment, like Kardashians or whatever. I told her there's no TV in the bedroom because I've just heard, you know, bad things.
Smart.
No TV in the bedroom. So we have one TV, right? My Xbox is hooked up, and I want to play some video games, but I know every Monday night at 9, it's not happening because The Bachelor's on, or The Bachelorette is on, right? So we have these normal little problems, but on the other side, it gets to the point where we get to a competition, we get serious, and to us, it's like, it's little things, you know. I need to make sure that her routine is the same for competition, sleeping wise and eating wise or whatever. Like we'll come back home after, like this World Indoor, we came back to the room in between days. I was like, Bree, silver medal, super proud of you. She's like, thanks, Ash. You get some rest and go do your thing tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, for us, it's hard to explain because everything's normal, right?
Right.
So.
Let's turn our focus to Jamaica's Usain Bolt, the world record holder, obviously, in the 100 and the 200. People look at what he's been able to do, and they think, well, he's been pushed. Tyson Gay, Johan Blake, he's had people very, very close to him. How are you going to improve, given that the gap between you and the second best decathlete in the world doesn't seem to be shrinking, it actually seems to be growing?
The decathlon is unique in that once you start doing them, you realize I'm not really competing against the other guys.
Against the events?
Yeah, I'm competing against myself. So, like in the 100 meters, yeah, I'll compete against the other guys. Like I want to win, right? Because I know I'm the fastest out there. But in the shot put, it's not like I'm really competing against the other guys, you know, because I'm going to get smoked. I know that. I may pick a guy that's close to me and say, okay, I'm going to beat that guy. But it's more about beating yourself. And it's a very interesting, that's why I think decathletes were tough in a different way than maybe, let's say, a distance runner or a sprinter or something like that. Because you're always your own worst critic. You're always the hardest on yourself. And when you're competing against yourself all the time, mentally you just keep breaking yourself down. And it's not healthy.
Right.
But so to me, it's kind of like more of the same. Like it very much helps to have athletes push me. Great examples, Daegu, Lionel Suarez. I had to beat him by 4 seconds to get the silver, right? That was fantastic.
Right.
I pushed myself to new limits. Had I not had that point difference between him, could I push myself to do that? Man, it would have been really tough. So, yeah, it's just, I'm competing against myself. And we saw it yesterday, right? I didn't get the world record. I was competing against my previous self, almost like a ghost running on the track. And I lost against myself, and that, it's a pain in the butt.
Well, Ashton, you seem to be the only person capable of defeating you these days, so I wish you the best as you get ready for the World Championships next year and, of course, the Olympic year in 2016. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate it.